Welcome to the Import and Export Data in CDMS video tutorial. In this video, you will learn how to use the Comprehensive Data Management System to query a specific data layer and export it from a Hazus statewide dataset, then import data into CDMS and permanently update a statewide dataset. It is a best practice to integrate new data into Hazus through CDMS, rather than through direct import, because CDMS allows you to interact with and manipulate Hazus data outside of Hazus, and it provides a permanent update to state datasets. You will want to query and export data from your Hazus statewide dataset in order to update it with new or more accurate information, then use the import and update functions in CDMS to permanently integrate those updated data into your statewide dataset for future modeling. Before you begin, it is a best practice to create a copy of the original statewide dataset in your Hazus data/inventory folder in case of any mistake, overwrites, or errors when you import and update with new data. Now that you have a backup dataset, open CDMS. Although CDMS is part of the Hazus download and installation package, it is a separate, complementary tool and has its own desktop icon you can use to start the program. For this video, we will use CDMS to query and export the fire station and police station layers for Salt Lake County, Utah. The first step is to select the statewide dataset you would like to query. We will choose Utah by opening the Tools menu, selecting Specify Hazus Data Location, and browsing for the UT file under Hazus Data/Inventory. Click OK to confirm the selection. Next, click the Query/Export Data button to begin the process of identifying and selecting the data you would like to export. First, you will need to select the geographic level of data you are requesting: state, county, census tract, or census block. We are going to choose County from the drop-down, and the list below will populate with the counties in Utah. To select our desired county of Salt Lake, we will click the name of the county, then click the right arrow to move it to the Selected Geographical Areas list to the right. Once you've made your geographic level selections, you can select the type of data for your query. Use the drop-down to select from the available data categories. In this example, we want to see all of the essential facilities in Salt Lake County, so we will select Essential Facilities. Once you've chosen your category, click a specific data layer in the list, and then click the right arrow to move it to the Selected Data Layers list. We will select police stations and fire stations and transfer these layers into our query. If you accidentally move an extra layer of data, simply choose it in the Selected Data Layers list and click the left arrow to remove it from your selection. Now that you have selected your data layers, you can specify which hazard-specific attributes to include in your query. For example, checking earthquake and flood will include not only basic inventory attributes, but also attribute data relevant for modeling those hazards. Click Search and CDMS will submit your query, then display the results in a grid. Here we see the data for our fire station facilities and can view the different attributes for each facility by using the left to right scroll bar located below the fields. To view our queried police station facilities, we open the Search Results drop-down and select Police Station Facilities. Now that the query is complete, you can export the data. To export the data, you can choose to either export to Excel or export to Geodatabase. We are going to export our queried data to Excel. After selecting your desired output, you are given two options: export the currently selected layer or export all layers. Choosing the currently selected layer option will only export the data currently displayed in the grid. For us, that would be police station facilities. Choosing the All Layers option will export all data layers you have queried, meaning both our police station and fire station facilities data. We are going to choose Export All Layers and click Submit. Now you will specify the name and destination for the exported file, then click Save. A message will appear when the Excel file has been created successfully. If you created a backup of the state dataset, and if these data will be updated and immediately re-imported into Hazus, it is a best practice to click the Delete All Records for Selected Inventory button in order to remove all data in the currently displayed query from your main Hazus statewide dataset. This minimizes the risk of creating doubled entries when you import your updated data back into Hazus. With that, your data is exported and you can make edits in the exported file. Please note, if you are creating your own data based on local building records, this exported file can be used as a template so you have the required fields and formats for the data. Further information on required fields and formats can also be found in the technical manuals for each of the hazards. Now we will walk through how to import customized data into CDMS and then permanently update your Hazus statewide dataset with that data. After returning to the CDMS home screen, click the Import into CDMS Repository from File button and click Browse to select the file containing the data you'd like to import. There are 3 types of files CDMS can import. 1. A personal geodatabase or Access 97-2003 file. 2. An Excel file. Or 3. An Esri shapefile. We will select our recently exported Excel file with the police station and fire station facilities for Salt Lake County. Once you select your file, indicate which hazard-specific attributes are included in the data by clicking the respective checkbox. Then, use the Category and Dataset drop-downs to select the type of data this file contains. Note that you can only update one layer at a time, even if your import file has multiple sets of data. We will select Essential Facilities and Fire Station Facilities from the drop-downs in order to first import the Fire Station Facilities layer. Now that CDMS knows what type of data you will import, click Continue to begin the process of importing the relevant data. First, you will use the Import Table drop-down to select the location of your data. Since we are importing an Excel file, this will choose which tab within the Excel file has the data we'd like to update. We'll select the Fire Station Facilities table to import first. Then use the Hazus ID field drop-down to let CDMS know if there are existing Hazus ID records in the statewide dataset for your imported data. Since we deleted the data, there aren't any Hazus ID entries for fire station facilities in Salt Lake County for our data to match against. Instead, we will select No Hazus ID and CDMS will rebuild those associations for us. Finally, if you are importing an Excel file, use the latitude and longitude drop-downs to identify the columns that contain coordinate data for your facilities. For non-Excel files, this will be done automatically. Once these fields are set, click Continue. Now you will need to review and confirm that CDMS has accurately mapped the attribute data from your import file's fields to their appropriate destinations in the Hazus statewide dataset. Any data fields that are not matched will appear in the upper section of the application window with the source field names on the left and the state dataset field names on the right. To match field names, select the source field name from the source name list, then the corresponding statewide dataset field name from the destination field list, then click Add Match to move the pairing to the bottom of the field matches list. For example, we will choose EQ design level from our source fields and earthquake design level from our destination fields and click Add Match. Then we will repeat as desired for any remaining unmatched fields. Once all fields are matched, click Continue, and Hazus will list the data fields whose source data type you'll need to manually recode for a successful import through CDMS. Note that not all fields need to be matched, and any unmatched fields will be imported with default values assigned to them. Select OK to begin reviewing the proposed data types, making sure that the source data type and destination data type and description match before clicking Continue. This will have CDMS update the source type to match the Hazus state dataset type. In our review, we can see that we have an issue with our flood structure foundation type values. The data from our source file contains null values, but Hazus statewide datasets cannot contain null data. We see that we must convert these values to categories from 1 through 7. This requires us to make generalized assumptions about the null data in our source file or find a way to collect information for this data field more accurately. We will select a value of 7 and click Add Match so that all null values in our source data will be replaced with a value of 7 and assumed to have a slab-on-grade foundation type. Then click Continue. We see an error that informs us that the matched fields are over-referenced, meaning we need to review them for accuracy. Here, we see that our earthquake deep foundation type was matched to flood structure foundation type erroneously. We will simply remove that association and click Continue. CDMS will ask if default values can be used for unmatched fields. Click Yes, and you are returned to the review of the proposed data type matches. We'll review the data for accurate type matching one more time to complete the update process. Once all of the field matches are confirmed, Hazus will provide a dialog box confirming that the data have been imported into the CDMS repository. Click OK. The data layer you have just entered is now located in the CDMS repository grid, but it has not been permanently transferred into the state dataset. Click the Transfer to Statewide Dataset button, choose the Append/Update Data option, and then click Submit. The layer transfers from the repository to the state dataset and is shown in the statewide layer modification history section. You can repeat these steps for each layer in your source file and update your statewide dataset with your custom data. Congratulations! In this video, you learned how to use CDMS to query a specific data layer and export it from a Hazus statewide dataset, import data into CDMS, and permanently update a statewide dataset. Look for more Hazus video tutorials on the FEMA YouTube channel.